Crashes have occurred in the past and they will undoubtedly happen in the future. The next crash that I'm looking at will be global. There is no other way around this because of globalization and how all of the markets are interconnected. You can see this as of the year 2000. All markets, for give or take, have been working in sync together. Let's take a look at how this is a global situation. Banks reportedly discuss Argentina default exit. So the vultures are here to pick up the pieces of what is left after Argentina defaults on its debt. And they're going around strategizing, oh, I'll take this piece of garbage, I'll take that piece of garbage. And of course, they're going to make a hefty profit from this. So you're looking at this and you have to see that this is no different than what happened in other countries. Look at what happened in Greece. They're able to buy up things for pennies on the dollar. So they force Argentina into a very high interest rate, inflation rate scenario. And then they end up crashing their economy. And then they say, well, you're pushed up against the wall. We'll help you out. We'll buy off that debt. Well, Argentina was trying to fight back, it seemed like. But now the bankers and the vultures are in there. So let's go on. China default storm seen as record private bonds mature. So they're talking about China's private market, and they're facing the risk of default. So this is a huge issue because China has obviously been overheating for a long time. They have growth. They have a real economy in the future. However, it seems that they are basically growing at too fast of a pace. Inflation was picking up very, very high, and other issues that they had. Essentially, this could be a problem for them where the government may have to step in. There is no recovery. This is a bubble and it will burst. This is out of The Guardian, saying the stock market bubbles of historic proportions are developing in the US and the UK markets. The interesting part about this was that they said policymakers are unwilling to introduce tough regulation. And that's one thing that I need to bring up because you can see this going on in every country around the world. When a bubble starts to begin to really settle down and burst, they end up pumping it up and it basically sends the bubble in another direction. That's how they have always accomplished this, and it has been working very well for them. However, this problem has been pushed off from country to country, and it seems that we're going global now. This is going to be one for the books. The S&P since the 1960s, essentially showing you how it has been peaked out here. And you could see that the peaks in the previous two are really coming down, crashing afterwards, and they are predicting here that there will be another crash, and they are overdue, at least for some sort of correction. Mark Faber being one, saying a 30%. But you could see the rise up that it had. It was very, very such an extreme rate that it would make sense for it to come down at least for a time being and then continue on. Now, whether that happens or not, I'm not sure, but it does seem that, according to the charts at least, that they are overdue for a correction. This is the Fed funds rate in my book. I'm showing you this. The statistics go up to, I believe, the end of 2011, maybe 2012. And basically what it said here is that, we're having this issue of low interest rates. The banks get the free money. The individuals pay the high interest rates. So you can fund these schemes by keeping the interest rates low. But what happens when the Fed increases the interest rates? Will they increase the interest rates? Well, they say they're going to do it. The rhetoric is certainly there. However, they're going to crash the economy if they do so. So let's keep an eye on it. Perhaps they want to crash the economy. Let's take a look further on. Japan having the same issue. Japan Pension Fund must fix governance first. And that's one of the issues that I have with this, is that they're consistently worried about the wrong issues. They're taking a look at this and say, we need to change our governance. We need to do an overhaul. We need to move this debt around. We need to do all of these things. And it's all jargon, but really it's all rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. It is all basically a real mask in front of what is really there. And that's the problem. We have too much debt, and you can't just move it around. You can't restructure, as they like to say. It doesn't work like that. It never has, and it never will. So you have too much garbage out there in the system. It's going to end up flowing its way back in, and you're going to have a huge problem. I hope that you like this video. I want to say to everyone, thank you for all the comments and all the emails. The Insiders has now exceeded 700 people, and I want to thank you all for being on there. I want to, I hope you're enjoying the information on there. I'm getting emails consistently from people all over the world are emailing me and telling me about their story, about how, asking me advice, and so on and so forth. So I really appreciate all those individuals who are emailing me on there. Keep it coming, please. I really enjoy that. If you want to be an insider, it is totally free. It's at themoneygps.com. You scroll down to the bottom, fill in your email address, and you get occasional emails from me with good, short, concise info.